Hey, folks, welcome back to another edition of the El Grando Show. Now, it's been a while, but things are changing. Things are changing again. Um, some positive, some negatives. It's that old saying, one step forward, two steps back. We're definitely in that crazy sort of little area where it's definitely hard to stay progressive, but I'm gonna hold my head up high and try to be the best me possible. So that's that being said, I mean, rich people can't have all the fun, okay? That being said, I hope everybody's well. I hope everybody's safe. Like I said, like I always start the show, I hope everybody's turning the corner in your life and starting to look ahead a little bit if you can. All right. Ooh, that time of year, baby. Got that Oktoberfest on deck. Wow, unbelievable. Wow, it's fucking beautiful. All right, well, I like to I like to start the show with some jokes, if that's okay. Um, so all right, well, I mean, I talk about um relationship. Well, first of all, speaking of rich people, Paris Hilton has a cooking show on Netflix, and I mean, let's face it, the only thing that I would like Paris Hilton to put in her mouth is a cock. So unless she's like doing fellatio on the regular now on TV, I'm not down. I mean, it's just like, do you really think she cooks? I don't think so. But she's trying to be, I guess she's trying to show empathy for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it's because she wore that shirt that says "Stop being poor." Because that's some shit, right? But anyways, yeah, I'm not gonna watch that show. It's fucking stupid. Uh, so there's been like a lot of discussion about like Black Rifle Coffee Company coming out, because they're just like um, because they're a conservative coffee company. So I'm just like, I just have to ask, like, so you're telling me you have to be conservative to drink this coffee? Because I don't. I mean, I drink like Folgers crystals. Um, if I splurge, I'll drink Starbucks. But it's just, I don't, I think it's fucking, why are we putting that category? You know what I'm saying? Like, why? I mean, how far are we going to take this shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, what about fucking 7-Eleven coffee? I mean, I could already see it. Somebody's going to buy some coffee at 7-Eleven. And somebody'd be like, hey, what the fuck you doing over there? Like, I'm getting the 7-Eleven coffee, man. It's like, oh, you drink that 7-Eleven shit? What are you, some kind of weirdo? What are you, some kind of freak? Son of a bitch? I just want some coffee. It's amazing though. It's, I don't know how much farther people can take it. It's just like somebody's gonna shoot somebody one day for buying the wrong coffee, and that's where we're at right now. Yeah, but you know what? It's it's. I don't think people are focusing that much on that coffee anymore. I mean, it's definitely a commodity, and I think people are treating it that way. So, I mean, I know Joe Rogan is constant. I mean, he loves posting the you know, I know he loves posting roasting coffee, making the that Black Rifle coffee every chance he gets. And do I think that Joe Rogan pays for coffee? That's a good question. Do I think that he pays for coffee? I don't know. Might just be a good endorsement, you know. You know, that's the thing about being rich. It's almost like you don't have to pay. I mean, from what I hear, is that you get so much kickbacks. It's like you don't really have to pay for stuff, which is kind of backwards, right? I don't know. It's pretty. What's the word I'm looking for? Redundant. Um, but yeah, there's gonna be like a whole group of people who only drink 7-Eleven coffee and be like, they're just they're not gonna be conservative, or they're gonna be like, I don't know, they're gonna be like independent, and that's gonna be a thing. And but no lie, when I was a kid, there was a group of gangsters that lived behind a McDonald's, and they used to call them McDonald's boys, and that's a true story. But everybody knew them because there was like a big hood, and they all lived in the same area, like within like a 2-3 mile radius, and that's how everybody knew them. They're all McDonald's boys. Oh yeah, you know them. They're the McDonald's boys. And they was gangsters. They was seriously gangster as fuck, because that particular McDonald's lived in the shitty part of the hood, and there was all it was just low income housing, and they were all just, you could still go to that McDonald's because that was like the crown jewel. It was like, yeah, that's our McDonald's, and it was a tip top McDonald's. you know. So it was all, that was a neutral spot, you know. It's amazing though. It's amazing. I used to, sometimes you just have to like, you just have to be like, wow, that shit really happened. Yeah, sometimes you have to reflect. I on my last episode, I talked a little bit about little bit about relationships. And so here's a little snippet of gold for you guys. I mean, a little while back, I matched with the girl on Tinder, right? And on this particular lady's profile, her little summary paragraph was like, "I'm into giving lobotomies," and she like listed off some hardcore bands. Anyways, we matched, and so I just did the regular stuff. I said, "Hey, how's it going?" She's like, "Cool." And I was like, "Do you want to, you want to go get a drink sometime?" And she's like, "No, that's not what my profile says I'm into." And so she was like, and I was like, "So you're only into giving lobotomies?" And she's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "You're fucking joking." And I actually took a screenshot of it because it was so fucking funny. I couldn't believe it. And obviously, it didn't. Nothing happened. I didn't get a lobotomy, but I can see somebody just going like, "Yeah, give me that lobotomy, girl. I want that." And then somebody is really gonna get a fucking lobotomy through Tinder. And that's fucking that's my relationship status in a nutshell. Yeah, but I couldn't believe it. It was like it's one of the things where I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. And but she was adamant. She was adamant. She was like, "Nope, only lobotomies." And I sure enough did fucking take a screenshot of that because that shit is fucking hilarious. And so yeah, yeah, that actually happened. Oh god, yeah, it's uh, it's a crazy time right now. Um, it's a crazy time right now. So we are the very late of the last of August. I don't know where the time went. There's a hurricane in New Orleans right now. Um, I there's one sure thing, that I know is true, that there's always gonna be a hurricane in New Orleans, and I just feel like that's like a no brainer, no pun intended, but it's just like but it's just like uh, it's coming, and but people still choose to live there. It just says a lot about the resilience of people and perseverance of people. Because I mean, what I know about New Orleans is very small, but I know it's a very has a lot of culture and a lot of history, and it's one of those destination spots where everybody would like to go there, but there's just been too many songs about New Orleans sinking, and I think people need to go and see it before it's like totally underwater. Is that like a far fetched, opinion to have? I don't know. I've never been to New Orleans. I know people who have, and they fucking love it. So there's that. Um, it's just it's hard to explain what I'm trying to convey is that oh god. And so recently, like, um, I went to uh the local watering hole where I usually go and talk to a bunch of familiar faces, and yes, there's the fucking Delta variant going on, and I am vaccinated, and everybody I know have we've been together there since the very beginning. Like our bubble hasn't changed. If anything else, it's gotten bigger. And yes, I just feel like my attitude right now is that I feel like I want to support you know businesses that I know because even though like the government isn't telling us not to support small businesses, but the thing that they don't understand is that with every new mandate that comes, people who are vaccinated just keep scratching their head. It's because it's the middle and lower class who are going to pay for it, and I don't think a lot of people take that into account, because they're just reporting, and not really. I mean, what do you think is gonna happen? What do you think is gonna happen? And we're not getting any more stimulus checks from the government. It's just the middle class is just gonna fucking bear the brunt of it. You know what I'm saying? It's just that the focus has never been on people who have gotten COVID and recovered from it, and the focus has never been on being the healthiest you can and trying to not spread it. It's always just been like, fuck your life, fuck your business. Rich people don't. It doesn't matter to rich people, because the next day their income isn't going to depend on the middle class or the lower class. You know what I'm saying? They don't depend on income like we do. You feel me? Like but it's just like the focus needs to change. The focus needs to change because like I don't know how else, I don't know how else I can explain. Here's the thing, right? There's been like a spike in um there's been a spike in fucking not fucking COVID. Yeah, that too, but I'm talking about violence. Violence. You know, and I 100% fucking credit that to being in the lower middle class, because I mean, I'm sure rich people have problems too, but you know, you can't just put people in that position and expect people to be happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people ain't gonna see, never had hope, and now they're never gonna have hope. And there's just been some really heartbreaking acts of violence that's happened here recently, and I won't go into specifics, but it's a it's really it's a fucking kick in the dick, you know. And I'm not sure how everybody else is. I don't know how everybody else is dealing or handling it, but here, it's definitely been a spike in violence, and it's just and it's like we were talking about it, you know, me and my friends, you know, and we were just saying how, you know, there's enough blame to go around. Like who's to blame? But you know, I can't help but notice that you know, being poor during the pandemic doesn't help. You know, with like, you know, if you were, you know, in living in a shitty area during the pandemic, it definitely didn't help. You know, unless you had a really strong neighborhood that stuck together and looked out for one another. Like me, I've been lucky like that. You know, I've always had. You know, I was even when I moved here, I was really lucky, and I found some really cool people. You know, and I just I never try to put myself in a position where the outcome was not gonna be very good. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like but but you know what? It's like, it's just, here's the thing, right? So I caught a interview on YouTube with Ice Cube, and and it was fucking awesome. I think it was Heart to Heart, with Kevin Hart, and Ice Cube was talking about making of Boys in the Hood. Rest in peace, John Singleton. Fucking genius. And in the interview, Ice Cube was talking about making Boys in the Hood, and that's why he made Friday, was because like he was talking about how a lot of people were asking him, was it a war zone? Was it a war zone? You know what I'm saying? Like, when you were growing up, because he grew up, in South Central, and in the 90s, you know what I'm saying, where there's a lot of people talking about LA looked like hell on earth, you know what I'm saying? And but what he was saying was that he was just like, yeah, there was a lot of violence, but he was also saying that, you know, he wanted to show the other part, and that's why he made Friday. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was the coolest thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I mean, he took it upon himself to show that, you know, even in the harshest times, you know, there's still a lot of love, you know, especially between, you know, neighbors and you know, just people you interact with every day, you know. So, anyways, it's a cool interview. If you have a chance to listen to it, I really recommend you do. Ice Cube's a genius in his own right. He wrote Friday by himself, him and DJ Pooh. Um, yeah, and another thing that I've been saying since the very beginning is that if you grew up in a in like a what's the best way I can say this? If you grew up in like a shitty area, or if you had like a shitty childhood, or if you had a lot of obstacles in your life, chances are you're doing pretty well during this shit. I mean, you're keeping your head anyways because you know. I mean, you know, like it's just like, you know how bad it can get, you know, and I don't think some people will understand that, you know, um, but yeah, it's definitely it's definitely one of those things where if you grew up you know you know in a not so easy upbringing, then and you know, chances are you're gonna be okay, you know, during this thing. You're gonna keep fighting, you know. I'm gonna let this train pass. Hopefully you guys don't hear it. I can hear it in my headphones. Yeah, we're just gonna let it pass. So what's the answer though? I don't know what the answer is. I just know that that the middle and lower class are bearing the brunt of this economically, you know, it's almost like I can see, you know, what's happening, and it's concerning to me. You know, it's definitely concerning to me. It should be concerning to everybody, but I understand that you know, we're all of us aren't in the same tax bracket, you know. So it's definitely just something that weighs on me, and I try not to let it affect me as much, you know. But it's, you know, it's just like it's one of those things, you know. What drives you? What wakes you up? You know. We all need a little motivation in our lives. We all need some motivation. You know what I'm saying? So, uh, I mean, the world's gonna keep spinning. Uh, we are still. There's still events happening here. I I don't know if they're gonna stop. Uh, I just feel like I like I said, I have a bubble, you know, and I have people that I see, you know, and I'm not afraid to be around, and I mean I never really stopped working, I don't know. I'm just rambling now. All right, we're gonna switch gears here. We're gonna switch it up. Um, we're just gonna switch it up. So I watch a lot of tube. I watch a lot of TV. Right. Hold up. I watch a lot of TV. Right. Um. So I have a shirt. I have a I have a Jon Snow. I have a House Stark. I don't know if you can see it. I have a I have a Game of Thrones shirt that I wear. From time to time, it's fucking sick. It's a House Stark shirt with a big ass wolf head on it. I get compliments on it all the time, and somebody hit me up today actually, and it was like, "Hey man, do you ever fucking stream the first four seasons?" I'm like, I mean, all the time, and I was like, it just hit me, like a couple minutes later. I was like, why only the first four seasons? And but I don't know. There's in the there's it's we're in a really like weird spot right now with TV because there's nothing really good on. Um, it's just like there's nothing really good on that stands out to me right now. White Lotus, it was good, but it was more like, well, this is what rich people did during the pandemic. Uh, my boys out there in Oahu, um, I met him out here in fucking Portland in the fucking Kitchen Stadium. He's out there doing his thing, man, in kitchens, and it's just weird. I don't. He doesn't really post too much, and I don't really hear from him that much. But I know he's out there, and I don't know what's going on in Hawaii. I know they're trying to stop people from going there, and I think maybe I think Hawaii is really dependent on like tourists, right? Tourist money, but I mean, how much is enough? How much money is enough? How much do you need? You know, I mean, what would you give? Would you give peace of mind instead of money? Like, it's, it's hard to turn down money. I tell you right now, it's hard to turn down money. But how much is enough? How much is enough? How much would you give to have peace of mind? Like genuinely, like be at peace with where you are, your relationships. You know, what would you give? What would you give for it? I don't know. But yeah, like I said, there's nothing really. There's one shout out I wanted to give was to the Modern Love series on Amazon. Listen, I'm a fucking softie, okay? I'm a sucker for love. I love rom coms. Modern Love is like was great, and my boy's in it. My boy Jon Snow's in it. But see, we're full circle. See that? We just went first full circle. But yeah, another thing I wanted to mention was that I think they filmed it all in Ireland, right? And that's kind of funny to me when I heard that. And lately, it does seem like there's like a lot of like filming in Ireland, which I don't understand why of all places. Maybe because it's on an island, right? But I'm not. Like I said, it's like I'm not. I don't think they have the best weather or like the best accommodations. But you know what? I've never been there. So yeah, I just yeah fucking yeah. I just found out that they filmed Vikings there. Um, which is you know crazy. Uh, so if you haven't seen Vikings, it's based on a true story, and I did stream it. Of course, I streamed it. If you haven't streamed Vikings, I guess it's not for everybody, but I mean the story's good, and you know what, it just I didn't watch the last two seasons. I think it got when Ragnar got killed. It was a little different. I mean, it was still good. Maybe one season after that, but then it just kind of jumped the shark a little bit. And you know what? It was good. It was good. It told us it was a good story. You know, I just I thought the first two seasons was probably the best. Yeah, if you haven't seen Vikings, you got time. If you got time, stream that shit. Stream that shit. All right. So here we go. Salud. Cheers, everybody. The Norwegians are crazy. I just want to go off on a quick tangent. I used to. There was a Norwegian over here by where I lived. He was an older cat, and I probably told the story before, but he would sit at the bar, and he would argue with people how they would all. He said that you guys are all Norwegian, and I was like, how is that possible? Anyways, I think he was. I think he was. He worked in Seattle and had a place over here on the waterfront. But I would see him at a dive bar over here, and he would just sit on the bar, drink wine, and kind of just talk mess to people, how you usually do at the bar. But he was a cool cat, kind of intimidating looking, kind of a bigger dude. But what I know about Norwegian is that they love tequila, which I fucking. I think the Norwegians are always looking for like a earthy antidote to things, and I mean if you haven't tried, I mean they're trying to connect in some ways, and I'll never forget the time when I seen I think it was Anthony Bourdain who went to Norway, and or you know what, I'm sorry, it might have been Chef's Table. It might have been Chef's Table. It's like a series on Netflix where they're these Norwegian guys. They go to, well, they follow a chef. Kind of like the same Anthony Bourdain deal. So they go to Norway, and they follow a chef. And him and his homies, and they all get fucked up and just eat a lot of good food, and they do the usual pickled herring or whatever the fuck shark. And then they go to a fucking Mexican joint in fucking Norway. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it. And they get fucked up. They get fucked up on mezcal. And I just remember thinking, those guys are fucking drunk right now. And I just remember thinking, what are the odds? You know what I'm saying? Like, and it wasn't like a dive bar. I would say it was like a higher end place, you know. But the rock star was the fucking mezcal drinks. I don't know if you guys have ever had mezcal, but that'll definitely put you one with the earth, quick. Just like tequila. You'll see moon stars and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? It just, it kind of made me more curious, about the people. Because it definitely seems like they were curious, like they had figured something out, you know. Which is cool. I thought it was really cool. There's nothing like getting really fucked up on tequila or mezcal. Oh my god, you'll see things in a different light. I'll just put it to you that way. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get into it. Here we go. Top 5. Top 5 list. Here we go, top 5 list. I got a good list for y'all today. This is a kind of a like a crazy fantasy list, but you know what? We all have to keep that, you know what I'm saying, in our back pocket somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm just saying, like, it's a far fetched, but you know what? These are real places that real people go to. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Top 5 list. This is my top 5 vacation spots. Everybody loves vacation. Everybody loves vacation. Why not go on vacation? All right. So number 5, Hawaii. Now, here's the thing about Hawaii, right? Um, I love the luau's, you know, and I just feel like I would love to go to a luau, and there's just so much mixed signals that I get from TV, and then from what I read, you know. To be honest with you, I've never met more people here in Portland that I've from Hawaii that I've ever met anywhere else. But okay. So here's the thing: a couple of people that I did meet from Hawaii, they weren't from Hawaii. You know, they were white people. But I mean, like I said, they weren't born in Hawaii, but they spent they spent time, extended amount of time in Hawaii. And you know what? They were assholes. Straight up assholes. Like, I wouldn't even, like, it made me, that's why Hawaii's at number 5 right now, because straight up, I was like, you know what? I would never fucking chill with this. I would never be friends with these people. Like, I could not picture myself even, like, trying to be friends with these people. Like, we had absolutely nothing in common. See, but that's like putting Hawaii in like a fucking, in like it's like a category, which I don't want to do. I just like, it was weird because, like, I didn't want them to represent Hawaii. I really didn't. But in my head, I was like, these are the only people from Hawaii that I've ever met that have lived there, and they're fucking pricks. Like, I wanted to sock one of them. Like, seriously, I was like, fuck you. And then, but the thing is, like, oh my god, see, that's the thing, you know. I never been to Hawaii, you know what I'm saying? But I would like to go to Hawaii, you know. And I just hear, like, you can't go here, you can't go there. the locals. But I don't know. It's just one of those places where it's so far fetched for me. But at some point, I would like to see the North Shore. I would like to fucking see the sunset in Hawaii and drink a fucking Mai Tai and get shitty on the beach somewhere, you know? But I remember one time I saw a picture of a beach in Hawaii, and I saw like this another picture of a beach, and it was it was in San Diego. It was oh my god, I can tell you the exact beach I'm talking about. It was god damn it. Hold on. Because I've been there. It wasn't it wasn't like none of the oh god. It wasn't like Pacific Beach or Ocean Beach. It was like towards I'm just gonna hold on one second. La Jolla. It was La Jolla. That's why, cause fucking what's it was La Jolla Beach, and it looked exactly the same. And I was like, wow, that looks like fucking La Jolla. They put like a side by side picture of the La Jolla Beach, and it was like, and there's some beach I think it was like Honolulu or something, and it was like exactly the same. And I was like, wow, so La Jolla has like, you might as well go to La Jolla. And is the funny thing is, La Jolla is like a rich part of fucking San Diego. Yeah, it's like a richer part of San Diego. And yeah, it's funny. If you don't know, La Jolla translation is the jewel. Joya is jewelry in Spanish. Not to be confused with La Olla. Olla is a it's an olla is a pot where you cooking. Okay, so that was number 5, Hawaii. Number 4, Yosemite. Something I like to see. I do enjoy camping. You ever been camping? Uh, Yosemite. The sequoias. Very legendary place. Uh, I just there's nothing like building a fire in a campsite and getting fucked up under the stars. Number 3, Cozumel. Cozumel is one of those places that I heard about when I was young until I started, you know, uh, doing research on it. Total tropical paradise in the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico. And one of those places that, from the pictures that I've seen, it's absolutely beautiful. One of the most beautiful places that I've ever seen in my life from pictures. You know, yeah. I mean, there's nothing like drinking a coconut on the beach. Like I would always say, it's another one of my sayings that I've always had is that if there was such thing as karma, then I would be drinking drinking out of a coconut on the beach somewhere, out of swinging on a hammock. Uh, Number 2 is Ibiza. Some people pronounce it Ibiza. Now, here's the thing, right? The only thing I know about Ibiza is that it's a Spanish island, okay, and that the people who go there are all beautiful and they all have orgies and they all have coke orgies. They're all fucked up on coke and they do orgies and they listen to techno. I almost think you have to be beautiful to go there and do a lot of coke, which is weird, but I am not intimidated and I would see what the fuss is about. Anyways, it's definitely one of those places where it's so far fetched and it's so European, and it's such a destination location that it's I couldn't help but it's like that's the lure, you know. It's because the thing is I've never been. The only thing what I've seen about Ibiza is that nobody gets COVID there, and that uh it's like you can do coke with the policemen and they'll fucking give you a high five, and you can also uh you can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. You can have multiple orgies and blow, and maybe Dua Lipa would be there. Maybe you find Dua Lipa in an orgy, and you're like, "Hey, you're Dua Lipa," and she's like, "Yeah." I mean, seriously, why can't it happen? Number one. My number one. Okay. Now, um, real quick, I'm just gonna. So this is like excuse me. Okay, this is wow, that beer's kicking in. First of all, before I say my number one, I like to sing a song. This is one of the first songs that I learned. Uh, this is a song. This is a Beach Boy song, and we learned it in third grade. I want to say third grade because our teacher made us memorize this song, and uh, and we would sing it, and we would perform it. Now, that might be a bit harsh, right, for young kids, but I'm serious. Like I said, my education was a bit different, but I'm serious. This is a true story, and this is one of the first songs I ever learned. This is a Beach Boy song, okay? Down in the Florida Keys, there's a place called Kokomo. That's where I wanna go to get away from it all. Down to Coco, Aruba, Jamaica. Ooh, I wanna take you to Bahama. Come on, pretty mama. Pilago, Martigo. Baby, why don't we go to the Kokomo? We'll get there fast and then we'll take it slow. That's where we wanna go. Way down in Kokomo. You're welcome. No lie, I learned that song when I was in third grade. I almost want to say second. No, it was third grade. Yeah. So number one is Tahiti, you sons of bitches. And there's no fucking rhyme or reason because I wanna sleep in a hut on top of the water. All right, y'all. That was a quick show. That was a good one though. All right, y'all be good. Y'all be safe. I love y'all. Peace. One love, one love, one love.